A standoff over an asylum seeker baby at Lady Cilento Children's Hospital shows no sign of being resolved tonight.
Medical staff are refusing to release 12-month-old Asha so his family won't have to go back to a detention centre on Nauru. Jonathan Lee is outside the hospital where protests are continuing. Jono, is there any sign of who will back down first?
Good evening, Georgie. At this stage, no, it would seem that the doctors at this stage hold all of the cards now in the next half an hour or so. We're expecting the largest and the biggest protest that we've seen outside Lady Cilento Hospital. Tonight it's going to be led by the unions, in particular the Maritime Union. We're also expecting to hear from other people who say they know and they have spoken to the family. But this isn't just about the unions. It's also a grassroots movement here outside the hospital. Locals who say they're tired of the federal government's position on immigration and they're demanding change. Working in shifts, protesters manned placards for the fourth day outside the hospital, hoping mounting pressure would force the federal government to abandon its controversial immigration policy.
I guess we'll just have to be here as long as it takes.
Natasha Blucher was previously the family's caseworker. Last night she was allowed to visit them in hospital.
For the first couple of weeks they were distraught about the injuries to the baby, and so that's sort of all they could focus on. But now that she's healing up well, she's looking really great.
They arrived illegally by boat to Christmas Island in late 2013. 12 months ago, baby Asha was born at a Darwin hospital, but on Australia Day she was medevaced to Brisbane after being scalded by boiling water.
They've been transferred, I think, about 3 times through different detention centres and offshore. Each time Dad's been placed in handcuffs, it's been a raid in the middle of the night. The first time the baby was taken away from them for 5 hours.
Hospital staff refused to release the toddler, fearing she'll be returned to Nauru, a stance backed by the Health Minister.
And that's what it is to be Australian, to offer help to anyone.
And this is a clinical decision for the doctors.
A clinical decision and a political statement. The man who wields the power, Immigration Minister Peter Dutton, refuses to comment, as does the hospital, leaving the Prime Minister to promise a humane outcome.
No decision would be taken which would imperil the health or security of any individual.
Once a person is well, then they should be discharged and treated in accordance with Australian and international law.
International law condemned by many. Now, despite numerous calls for an interview, the Lady Cilento Hospital waited until very late this afternoon to issue a statement. They denied the burns unit was operating capacity and said there was room for other patients should they need to be admitted. Georgie.
Thanks for the update, Jonathan Lee there.